Alright guys, for this podcast we're going to be looking how to model addition of integers with interchips in a number line. Alright, so looking how to model that two different ways. Alright, so first of all, remember that an integer is a positive or negative whole number, so we're going to be adding a mixture of those. Okay? So, while we're taking notes here, just some quick basics. When we're using integer chips, okay, this will typically be our key. I mean, obviously, if we have a chip with a plus in it, that's going to equal a positive 1, since it's one chip. If we have a chip with a negative in it, that will equal negative 1. Okay? And then by combining this is the really important part here. When we have a positive and a negative chip put together, that will equal 0. And this is a very important vocabulary term. When you combine a positive and a negative chip to make 0, that's called a zero pair. Okay? And a lot of this integer adding and subtracting revolves around zero pairs. Okay? Now when we use a number line, because we'll be going back and forth on the number line, but we also have to be going in the right direction for the right number. So here's something you want to remember for the number line. Okay? First thing you want to do, if it is a positive number, if it is a positive number, you want to, we'll say that equals, and we'll put an eyeball. We're going to look to the right, because that's the positive direction on a number line. Now if it's a negative number, that means on the number line you're going to look, so we'll draw our eyeball, we're going to look left. So you always look in the direction of the sign of the number. Okay? Now, the difference here is, if you are adding a number, you are going to walk, add equals, you're going to walk forward. And if we subtract, that means you're going to walk backwards. If you want to think about it like Michael Jackson moonwalking forward, moonwalking backward, if that helps you, then so be it. Okay? So let's go ahead and put this into action here. Alright, the first example we're going to do, and we're going to start easy, and we're going to just do 9 plus 4. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the integer chips first. Alright, so let's go ahead and set this problem up. I know you could do this normally, but just to get the habit of modeling. So if we're going to do 9 plus 4, the first thing we're going to need is 9 positive chips, because it's a positive 9. Okay? Just remember, anytime they give you a number with no sign in the front, then we assume that it is positive. Okay? Alright, so that's 9 positive chips. And adding is easy because you just draw on top or add whatever's next. And this is adding a positive 4. So we're going to add 4 positive chips. And if you were to count all these up and add them up, we have a positive 13. Okay? Very easy. Now when we do the same problem on a number line, okay, just remember we are adding. And here are the two numbers we're adding. Okay? So remember what we said. Okay, and by the way, we always start on 0. Okay? First number is 9, positive 9. So I'm going to look in this direction. So we have to go to 9. Okay, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we're going to stop here. Okay? That's our 9. Now the next number is a positive 4, so we're still going to look to the positive direction, but because we're adding, we're going to keep walking forward. We're going to walk forward 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 11, 12, 13, and we get the same answer. Okay? So we're modeling the same thing, just two different ways. Okay? Alright, now here we have negative 5 plus negative 1. So let's start with our chips first. So we have to set up negative 5. So we have to draw 5 negative chips. Okay? So we're adding, so we're going to add on or draw the next number, which is just negative 1. That's it. So it's this plus this, add it all up, negative 6. Okay? Now when we come over here to the number line, starting at 0 again, this is an addition problem. Okay? So remember, we're going to be walking forward. Here's the two numbers. The first number is negative 5, so we have to look this way and walk forward this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is our negative 5 right here. Okay? The next number is negative 1, so you are still looking to the left, and because we're adding, we're walking forward to the left. So we just walk one more, stop here, and that's negative 6. Okay? So that's the key with the number line. You look to the direction if it's positive or negative. Adding means you walk forward that direction. Okay? Now let's get to some of the harder ones here. Okay? Now we have negative 8 plus 13. So let's start with the chips first. Let's draw negative 8 chips. Okay? So draw this with me on your notes. Negative 8 chips. Alright, there's my negative 8 chips. Now we're adding 13, and it's a positive 13. So now we have to draw 13 of these. Okay. Alright, so a lot of chips to draw here. Okay, now the last two examples we did, it was like positive and positive, so we just combined them. Or it was negative and negative, so we combined them. Now we've got negative and positive chips. So remember that thing we talked about on the first slide was the 0 pairs. So if we take a pair of each, they cancel out to nothing or 0. So I'm going to cancel out one negative and one positive. One negative, one positive. Another negative, one positive. I'm going to go one at a time, back and forth, so you don't accidentally take too many off. Okay, so we're doing one 0 pair at a time. Here's a 0 pair, and I can make one more 0 pair. Now after I've canceled all that out, here's what I have left. And that is good. I got 5 chips, and they're all positive. So the answer is a positive 5. Okay? Now, let's try this on the number line. Once again, we're doing addition. Here are the two numbers. Always start on 0. The first number is a negative 8, so which way should we look? We should look to the negative direction, which is this way. And we're going to walk forward that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we stop there. Here's my negative 8. That's where it gets a little weird. The next number is a positive 13. So now we're going to look this way. And because it's addition, we're going to be walking forward while looking to the positive direction. So now we're going to walk 13 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We stop right here, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, positive 5. So you see we should be getting the same answer even though we're showing it two different ways. Alright, next one. Now we got a positive 12 plus a negative 8. So let's draw positive 12 chips on our paper. Okay. So there's my positive 12, and I'm adding on a negative 8. So we're going to add or draw an addition. 8 negative chips. Okay, now once again we have positives and negatives, so we are going to simplify this with our 0 pairs. So 1 positive, 1 negative is 0. 1 positive, 1 negative is 0. And we're going to continue slashing one at a time all of the 0 pairs. Okay, get used to that term, 0 pairs. Now once I've gotten rid of all the 0 pairs, here's what's left. 4 positive chips. The answer is positive 4. Alright, same deal over here. Addition problem still. So I'm adding a positive 12 and a negative 8. My first number is a positive 12, so I'm going to look to the right. Even though I'm starting on 0, I'm looking to the right and walking that way 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we stop here on 12. Now the second number is a negative 8, so we have to turn around and look in the negative direction. But because we're adding this negative 8, we're going to be walking forward while we're looking this way. Alright, so it's like you turned your body around. Alright, so if I had, just for an example, if I had a guy, and I'll just draw my nose so we know we're looking this way. Alright, he's turned around to the negative, but he's walking forward this way now. And we're walking forward 8 this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stops right here, and that's 1, 2, 3, positive 4. Okay, so it works out again. Okay, next one, negative 10 plus 6. So let's start off here by drawing negative 10 chips. Whoops, negative 10 chips. And we are adding positive 6, so we need 6 positive chips. Okay, now hopefully you recognize by now right away we got to cancel out these 0 pairs. Okay, so we're going one at a time, canceling out 1 positive and 1 negative, since those are making 0. And what's left here? Negative 4. Okay, now let's try it on the number line. We're adding. We have a negative 10 and a 6. So because the first number is a negative 10, when we start on 0, we're going to be looking this way because we're going negative 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's my negative 10 right there. Now my second number is a positive 6. So we have to turn around and look this way toward the positive direction. And we're adding, so we're walking forward this way. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's where we stop. And that's negative 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like we got with the chips. Okay? Alright, last problem. Negative 14 plus 14. Some of you guys might already recognize what's going to happen before we even do this. But just for the sake of practice, we will write it out. So we need 14 negative chips. Okay, there's 14 negative chips, and we're adding on 14 positive chips. Okay. So, we're going to do our 0 pairs here. And as we cancel our 0 pairs out, oops, one at a time, we're going to cancel these out. And you'll probably see that by the time we cancel all of these negative 0 pairs, we're left with nothing. So the answer is 0. Alright, because they were all turning out to be 0 pairs. When we do it on the number line, we're adding a negative 14 and a positive 14. So the first number is a negative 14. We're going to look this way and walk to 14 in the negative way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now the second number is a positive 14, so we're going to turn around to the positive direction, and because we're adding, we're going to walk forward this way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And basically we walk back the same number of steps we walked the first time. We land on 0, therefore the answer is 0. Alright, and that's how you model addition of integers with integer chips as well as the number line.